Hello and welcome to Defence Analysis's basic overview of the equipment and aircraft of the Royal Australian Air Force. Please note that this video is only intended to give a short insight into the RAAF, its aircraft, equipment and armaments. I may take a more comprehensive overlook of the RAAF in the future. Well, I won't waste any more of your time, so let's get into it. The Royal Australian Air Force, shortened to RAAF, is the air warfare branch of the Australian Defence Force. The branch provides aerial combat, surveillance, maritime warfare, and ground support to the rest of the ADF. The RAAF is widely regarded as a modern, well-trained and equipped air force, as they operate a large amount of modern aircraft such as the F-35. The Air Force is also regarded as an innovative player in the aviation sector, as seen with the MQ-28 Ghost Bat development program, otherwise known as the Loyal Wingman. The RAAF was formed on the 31st of March 1921, after the disbandment of the Australian Flying Corps after the end of the First World War. The RAAF took on the traditions and reputation that the AFC had formed during the First World War. The RAAF has seen action in every single major campaign that the ADF has participated in, from the Second World War to Malaysia and Vietnam, and recently in the War on Terror. Today, the RAAF operates 240 aircraft and has 14,313 active personnel and 5,500 reserve personnel. The RAAF has 23 active flying squadrons, and from these, there are 4 mainline frontline fighter squadrons, 1 electronic warfare, 2 maritime patrol, 1 airborne early warning and control, and 1 aerial refueling. The rest of the aforementioned squadrons are a combination of transport, training, operational conversion, testing, and heritage squadrons. The RAAF also has many non-flying squadrons. These formations are similar to squadrons and generally contain security forces and ground personnel. RAAF non-flying squadrons usually belong to a distinct RAAF base. There are also wings, which are smaller than a squadron and generally have more specific mission sets. Wings can be both flying and non-flying. It should be noted that these numbers about squadrons and personnel numbers may soon become outdated, as the Australian government has recently announced an expansion to the ADF as a whole over the next 2 decades. This means that personnel numbers and squadrons are subject to change as the RAAF expands and new flying squadrons are stood up. Now that the basic RAAF explanation is over, I'll be moving to the aircraft section. So we're going to start off with frontline fighters. The RAAF operates 2 frontline fighters. These are the Lockheed Martin F-35A Lightning II. The RAAF's main frontline fighter is the Lockheed Martin F-35A Lightning II. These aircraft are new in the RAAF's fleet, having only come into service in 2014. The F-35 is a world-class stealth, multi-role fighter that can perform a wide variety of mission sets. The RAAF has so far taken delivery of 54 F-35As, with 18 more to be delivered by the end of 2023, bringing the total fleet to 72, with an option of a further 28 aircraft to expand the fleet to 100. The F-35A is operated by Number 3, Number 75, and Number 77 squadrons respectively. The F/A-18F Super Hornet. The Super Hornet serves as a complement to the RAAF's fleet of F-35s, as Super Hornets can carry larger loads, such as anti-ship missiles and cruise missiles, that the F-35 is currently, as of the making of this video, unable to do. The Super Hornets came into service in the early 2000s to replace the RAAF's fleet of aging F-111s, and to fill the capability gap that will be suffered with the retirement of the F-111s until the F-35 came into service. But after the F-35 entered service, there was still reasoning for keeping the Super Hornets until the F-35 platform matured with platform and software updates. It is widely speculated that in a couple of years' time, the RAAF may retire the Super Hornet. The Super Hornets today are operated by Number 1 Squadron. Electronic warfare. The RAAF operates 2 distinct electronic warfare platforms, with one currently being in service and the other one coming into service in the mid part of this decade. These are the EA-18G Growler. The Growler is a 2-seat electronic warfare version of the Super Hornet, and was acquired with the original order for the Super Hornets. Australian Growlers are uniquely fitted with an AN/ANSQ-228 AT FLIR targeting pod, as well as the ability to carry the AIM-9X anti-air missile. This is so the Growlers can complement other Australian fighters and be able to defend itself in a high threat environment. The RAAF Growler fleet consists of 12 aircraft with the possibility of 12 additional, as 12 of the RAAF Super Hornets were wired to eventually be converted into Growlers. The Growlers are operated by Number 6 Squadron. The second electronic warfare aircraft is the MC-558 Perdurine. The Perdurine is an electronic warfare version of a business jet. The RAAF has placed an order for 4 aircraft, but they have yet to announce what squadron the aircraft will be operated by. Moving on, we have airborne early warning and control aircraft. The RAAF only operates one airborne early warning and control aircraft, and this is the E-7A Wedgetail. The Wedgetail is a twin-engine airborne early warning control aircraft based on the 737 commercial airliner. The aircraft was purpose-built for the RAAF to serve as the Air Force's main AWACS and battle management platform. The Wedgetail is equipped with the Northrop Grumman Electronic Systems multi-role electronically scanned array radar, notably located on top of the aircraft's fuselage. This radar gives the Wedgetail the capability for simultaneous air and sea search, fighter control, and area search. The main radar has a maximum range of 600 kilometers. The aircraft's radar array is also able to perform signals intelligence missions, with a maximum range of 850 kilometers. The RAAF operates 6 Wedgetails, and the aircraft is operated by Number 2 Squadron. Moving on to Maritime Patrol. The RAAF operates 2 Maritime Patrol platforms, and these are the APC-3 Orion. The Orions have had a long service career in the RAAF. The aircraft served as the ADF's main anti-submarine warfare and maritime patrol aircraft. Because of its design and propellers, the Orions were able to stay on mission for a long period of time. This was useful for the RAAF, as one aircraft could patrol the air-sea gap for an entire day, freeing up other aircraft, and always allowing the RAAF to keep at least one aircraft on station. These aircraft are equipped with the ELTA EL/M-2922 V3 radars and a nose-mounted Star Sapphire 3 electro-optical and infrared system. It is also said that the aircraft operates a classified, quote, highly capable signals and electronic intelligence system. The aircraft also has the capability to operate the AGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missile, Mark 46 or MU-90 impact torpedoes, mines and sonar buoys. The RAAF operated 18 aircraft, but now only has 2 aircraft in service, as they are being replaced by the P-8 Poseidon and MQ-4C Triton. They are operated by Number 10 Squadron. The P-8 Poseidon is replacing the APC-3 Orion, and the P-8 Poseidon is a maritime patrol and reconnaissance aircraft produced by Boeing and based on the 737 jet airliner. The aircraft can perform anti-submarine warfare, anti-surface warfare, and intelligence gathering missions, surveillance and reconnaissance roles. The Poseidon is equipped with Raytheon APY-10 multi-mission surface search radar and a AN/ALQ-240 electronic support measures suite, and the AN/APS-154 advanced airborne sensor. The aircraft has 11 total hardpoints and can be armed with torpedoes, AGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missiles, and other weapons. The aircraft can also drop and monitor sonar buoys and can operate with other aircraft, such as the MQ-4C Triton. The RAAF has procured the P-8 Poseidon to replace the APC-3 Orion and to work in conjunction with the MQ-4C Triton to patrol the air-sea gap in the northern part of Australia. The RAAF currently has 12 aircraft, with a further 2 on order, with the possibility of more in the future. The aircraft are operated by Number 11 Squadron and Number 292 Squadron, which converts crews from the APC-3 Orion to the Poseidon. The RAAF is a medium-sized air force, so they need a decent-sized tanker fleet. The RAAF only operates one tanker aircraft, and this is the KC-30 multi-role tanker transport. The KC-30 MRTT is the RAAF's only aerial refueling platform. The aircraft is based on the Airbus A330 aircraft and comes equipped with an 111,000 kilo maximum fuel capacity when fully loaded with fuel. The aircraft can still carry up to 34,000 kilos of additional cargo. The wings also allow for the installation of external refueling pods to allow the aircraft to perform an in-flight refueling of multiple aircraft at the time. The KC-30 MRTT can also be modified to carry 270 passengers in its cabin, with the RAAF fitting out two second-hand airliners to carry VIPs, most notably Australia's Prime Minister. The RAAF has taken delivery of 7 aircraft, with 2 of those being the VIP versions. The aircraft is operated by No. 33 Squadron. The RAAF has to operate a wide variety of transports to support other ADF mission sets. All of the transport aircrafts are the C-17ER Globemaster III. The C-17 Globemaster is the heaviest transport aircraft operated by the RAAF. The aircraft has a capacity of 77,000 kilos of cargo, and the C-17 is able to embark soldiers, supplies, M1 Abrams main battle tanks, Black Hawk helicopters, Chinooks, as well as light and armoured vehicles. The RAAF operates a fleet of 8 C-17 extra Rangers, as they are operated by No. 36 Squadron. C-27J Spartan. The C-27 Spartan is the RAAF's lightest cargo carrying transport aircraft. The aircraft replaced the RAAF's Caribou fleet, which had served from the Vietnam War right up until the 2000s, and had served as the RAAF's utility airlifter, which could insert personnel and light cargo onto rugged, small runway strips due to its short takeoff and landing capability. The RAAF decided that the new C-27 Spartan would be a suitable replacement for the Caribou, as it had similar performance characteristics and a similar size. The aircraft can carry cargo, personnel, light vehicles, light aircraft, and pallets. Its max payload is 11,300 kilos. The RAAF has taken delivery of 10 aircraft, and they are operated by No. 35 Squadron. C-130J Super Hercules. The C-130J is the RAAF's primary tactical airlifter. It is the newest variant in the C-130 Hercules family, and features new modern features such as a fully glass cockpit. The RAAF has a long history with the C-130, operating various variants since the 1950s. The C-130J has replaced the C-130H fleet. The aircraft has a payload of 20,000 kilos, and the RAAF currently has 12 C-130K-30s, and they are operated by No. 37 Squadron. It is to be noted that the RAAF will soon expand the fleet, as the Australian government has had a foreign military sale request for 24 C-130J Super Hercules and associated equipment approved by the US Congress. The further aircraft are expected to be delivered from the mid to late 2020s. Beechcraft Super King Air. The Super King Air is a light utility aircraft converted from a civilian model for light utility and transport missions. The RAAF operates 8 aircraft, with 3 of those able to conduct signals intelligence missions. The aircraft are operated by No. 32 Squadron. Boeing 737. The RAAF acquired the Boeing 737s for VIP transport of government and military officials for transport around Australia and around the local Southeast Asia region. The RAAF operates 2 aircraft, and they are operated by No. 34 Squadron. Dassault Falcon 7X. The Dassault Falcon 7X is also used for VIP transport of government and military officials in the local region. The RAAF operates 3 aircraft, and they are operated by No. 34 Squadron. Drones. The RAAF doesn't have many drones, but they are to be acquired in the latter half of the 2020s. They are the MQ-4C Triton. The MQ-4C Triton is currently being produced for the RAAF, as they are to complement the P-8 Poseidon fleet, as they can provide constant ISR capability in Australia's SC gap. The aircraft are equipped with an AN/ZPY-3 multi-function active sensor, with an active electronically scanned array. The aircraft can also provide a possible platform for battle space management with complementary sensors featuring on the aircraft. The RAAF has taken delivery of its first MQ-4C as of December 2022, with a further 6 on order. Ultimately, 7 aircraft will be operated by No. 92 Wing, based out of RAAF Base Edinburgh in South Australia. The MQ-28 Ghostbat. The Ghostbat is an unmanned combat aerial vehicle currently in development by Boeing Australia with assistance by the Royal Australian Air Force. The aircraft is intended to be a force multiplier, able to engage in multi-role mission sets such as aerial combat, close air support, surveillance, and asset protection. The RAAF ultimately intends for hundreds of this aircraft to be procured, along with current fighters, as it is intended for one human-controlled fighter to have MQ-28s accompanying them as wingmen, increasing the survivability of limited critical platforms such as the F-35. The aircraft features a swappable nose cone. Each cone can be configured with a different mission set. The aircraft took its first flight on the 27th of February 2021 and 2 aircraft have been built so far. The aircraft is intended to enter service in 2024 to 2025, as of December 22. For now, the RAAF has ordered 4 further aircraft along with the 2 already constructed. Trainer aircraft. Since the RAAF is a medium-sized air force, it requires a decent amount of trainer aircraft to train pilots up for their eventual planes that they will be based on. The trainer aircraft the RAAF currently operates are the Bay Hawk 127. The Bay Hawk is the RAAF's jet trainer aircraft for new pilots. Pilots generally train on this aircraft after finishing their training on the PC-21, as it can simulate G-forces and experience of flying in a jet fighter. The aircraft can be operated as a light fighter and ground attack if needed. The RAAF has 33 airframes, and these aircraft operate by Number 76 Squadron based out of RAF Base Williamtown and Number 79 Squadron at RAF Base Pierce. Beechcraft Super King Air. The Super King Air is a dual propeller training aircraft. The aircraft is operated by the RAAF Flight School Squadrons, and they are flown by pilots who will eventually go on to fly fixed-wing platforms such as the C-130 Hercules. The RAAF operates 12 aircraft, and they are not operated by Number 32 Squadron at RAF Base East Sale. Pilatus PC-21. The PC-21 is the RAAF's primary basic aircraft trainer. New pilots who are undergoing training firstly learn to fly in a smaller aircraft before moving on to the PC-21, where they can practice basic fighter maneuvers and get a feel for basic flying. After pilots finish up on the PC-21, they will move on to either the Beechcraft Super King Air or a Bay Hawk, and then they're given aircraft that they will fly on. The RAAF has 49 aircraft, and they are operated out of RAF Base East Sale and RAF Base Pierce. Now we are moving on to the equipment section. The equipment section will cover a variety of missiles, bombs, and firearms. To start, we're going to be looking at the air-to-air missiles. The RAAF operates 3 types of air-to-air missiles. These are the ASRAAM. The ASRAAM is a short-range infrared-guided missile. The AIM-120 AMRAAM, which is a medium-range, beyond-visual-range missile. And the AIM-9 Sidewinder, which is a short-range IR-guided missile. Now we move on to air-to-surface missile. The RAAF operates 3 air-to-surface missile platforms. These are the AGM-88 HARM anti-radiation missile, primarily suited for suppression and destruction of enemy air defense systems. The AGM-154 Joint Standoff Weapon, which is a glide bomb used for long-range strikes on heavily defended targets. The RAAF also operates the AGM-158 JASSM, which is a stealth air-launched missile intended for striking unsuspecting targets. We're now moving on to general-purpose bombs. The RAAF operates 3 distinct types of general-purpose bombs. These are the JDAM. The JDAM is fitted onto dumb bombs, and then it turns them into all-weather guided munitions, ideal for precision strikes on small targets. The second is the GBU-15, which is an unpowered glide weapon used to strike high-value strategic targets. And the third is the GBU-19 Paveway 2. It's a laser-guided bomb intended for extremely precise strikes with the help of an aircraft such as the F-35 or F-18 Super Hornet. Anti-ship missiles. Since the disbandment of the Australian Navy's fixed-wing aviation with the loss of a fixed-wing carrier, the RAAF has had to pick up the tab on anti-ship defence, and it has acquired 4 distinct platforms to assist in the Navy's surface engagement with enemy warships. These are the AGM-158C LRASM, which is a stealth cruise missile intended to strike under ships' air defence and severely damage and cripple ships' upper structure. These are new weapons to be acquired as described in the 2020 Defence White Paper. The Naval Strike Missile is an anti-ship missile able to be launched from the F-35's internal bay, and they serve as the RAAF's primary multi-role fighter ASM capability. The RAAF also operates the Mark 54 torpedo, which can be dropped from aircraft such as the P-8 Poseidon and Super Hornet. They are extremely deadly if used in the right circumstances, as they are the same as torpedoes used on Australia's submarines. The RAAF also operates the AGM-84 Harpoon, which is a deadly missile able to be launched from aircraft against the largest surface combatant. Now we will be moving on to firearms. The IAAF does issue firearms to its personnel, but not as widely as the other two branches in the ADF, although pilots and other personnel in the IAAF do require firearms for their specific mission sets sometimes. There are two notable firearms that are issued, and these are the Glock 17. The Glock 17 is issued to IAAF pilots and serves as their personal defense weapon. It is chambered in 9mm in a 7-round magazine. The EF-88 Oz-Steyr rifle. The F-88 is the newest variant of the Steyr rifle, primarily used by the Australian Army as the main combat rifle. The EF-88 is also used by the Air Force's airbase security, both in Australia for internal security as well as overseas to protect air bases in hostile environments. The rifle is chambered in 5.56 NATO and has a 30-round magazine capacity. Thank you for watching this video. For future videos like this one, please make sure to subscribe to the Defence Analysis YouTube channel.